We have left Mount Nebo and the Mosaic House and are heading to Amman, Jordan, where I learned we are changing drivers. In this video, Alknee, my driver, tells his version of the finding of the Dead Sea Scrolls. As explained in a previous video, I was delayed at the border for 3 hours, so we are behind schedule and will be in the Bedouin camp at Wadi Rum way after dark, but they had a delicious dinner waiting on us. The next morning we went on a very exciting Jeep ride through miles of the surrounding desert, but that will be in the next video.
You see, these Ta'amra tribe, this is Bedouin tribe from Bethlehem, and they live on the outskirts, of Bethlehem. So, of course, on the way, on the outskirts, they go at that time, in the 40s, they have sheep. So, they try to find, areas where they can, their sheep get, food like grass and everything. So they come, down to Jericho. And these, there were places there, that their sheep would graze there because it has, you can see to some extent grass in, springtime. And even sometimes they would cross the River Jordan and come to Madaba because it's opposite Jericho. So this man Deep, Deep is his name in Arabic, but Deep in English equivalent is wolf. Wolf. Yeah, wolf. So Deep, he had sheep with him grazing that area in Jericho. Of course, that area has a lot of caves, and all this. So suddenly one of his goats, got lost. So he started to look for it inside, but he did not enter the caves, he was afraid. So he grabbed some stones, and throw it inside, and he could hear the cracks, inside. So he was afraid it was a genie when he heard, the cracks.
You thought it was a what?
A genie.
A genie?
Or devil.
A devil?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he went back to Bethlehem, brought one of his cousins, and then they went inside and they discovered. But this man, he was a shepherd, he was not learned man. So he did not know the value of, these things, because, he was, I think he was looking for gold, the vases, when he saw the vases, he thought it was gold. So he discovered, these, desert scrolls, and I think they were preserved in a good way because of the clay. They were writings of the real Torah, because these people were Jewish people, I think, they fled the Romans and at that time, and they came to these caves, because the Romans, if they discovered they were, Jews or, another religion, they would kill them. So they came to this area, to the, Jericho, and they used to live there, and they had houses, inside, and they used to have water also, and they used to have a bathe, themselves, about 3 times a day, and they wrote the real Torah. And after that, this Deep, he took parts of these, desert scrolls to Bethlehem and sold it, for the Arab Christians there for 1 or 2 dinars. And these people, they took them to New York, sold them for millions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And in Amman, I saw him so many times. Deep, he was an old man, with a white beard, and he died about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. Because he's an old man,
Yeah, I've been to that museum. What do they call it? The Museum of the Book.
Yeah.
In Jerusalem. They have the Dead Sea Scrolls on display in there, and it's like bomb-proof.
Yeah, you have them, in there in Jerusalem. You have them in Jordan also. In Amman, we have Jordan Museum. They have parts of it. Yeah.
Nice.
You have, they were written on leather, on also on brass, leather, or even clay sometimes, find some So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oni had just told me the story, the oral tradition of his association or his family's association, the Dead Sea Scrolls. And so I asked him, would you mind repeating that and letting me film it? And he was kind enough to let me film it. We're on our way to Wadi Rum. We probably got about 2.5, maybe probably 2.5 more hours.
Yeah.
2.5 more hours to drive. And the sun's beginning to set. We're basically in a desert area, and well, I got a sneaking suspicion it's going to be dark when we get there.
Yeah, of course.
All right, well, signing off for now. Bye. This is the digs tonight. It's awesome. It's quiet. Oh, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm in a tent. Hello. Shower. Hi. It's so quiet out here, you can hear your ears ringing. Actually, the blood flowing. That's a fan. The blood flowing in your ears. It's really cool. So you're wondering, am I really in a desert? Okay, this is me trying to walk through sand. It's really a desert. I mean, sand everywhere.